Jeff Ramsey fucked Scarlett Johansson's butt late at night.
And this is how superheroes are born.
Welcome to the podcast.
That was an interesting selection, guess.
That was totally natural. That's exactly how that conversation happened when we recorded it in the podcast.
My pop filter's broken.
I hit record before everyone was ready. Joel's still fucking with his pop filter.
My pop filter's
I was like, because everyone was like, I don't know what we're talking about.
Like the pop filter,
like,
that's
just move to the other mic.
We should just keep microphones on in each of the offices
constantly.
Constantly.
You're not gonna be able to fix that. Just move to the other mic.
I don't want to move the other mic.
Or move the mic to you then.
I'll move the other mic.
The following part of the podcast is brought to you by who makes pop filters?
I bought the absolute cheapest pop filters I could, and I absolutely regret it. Those are the worst pieces of shit ever.
How do you make a bad pop filter? It's just like somehow, I mean, what is a pop filter? A pop filter is like a piece of material.
For people who don't know, it's like that circle piece of nylon or whatever it is that you put in front of the microphone.
It's like a piece of material. So how do you fuck up a piece of material? How does that happen?
You know, Sorensen's that's how you say it, right? It's a big headphone manufacturer.
Angry today. Fucking angry.
We have a bunch of them. We have like most
the
of
Sennheisers.
Sennheiser, excuse me. We have the Sennheisers,
pop
bunch
filter.
of them. And Miles got back from PAX, and he's like, "Hey, did you guys know that Sennheiser makes video game headphones? Like they're like completely different things."
Marketing.
It's all marketing. When I went,
How's England?
We'll get to that in a second.
How's
I want
England?
to talk about headphones real fast.
All right.
When
How are the headphones in England?
I went to pick up Modern Warfare 3 this morning because it came out, and there was so much Modern Warfare 3 branded shit. Like, I went over to the Best Buy by the office, and it was like, oh, get your Modern Warfare 3 headphones. Don't forget your Modern Warfare 3 sunglasses, but don't get those sunglasses. Get these Modern Warfare 3. There were multiple Modern Warfare 3 sunglasses for sale, like, up there.
Have you seen the greatest film ever sold?
I have not seen that yet.
Same concept in video games, but it's like the last 15 minutes are pretty awesome.
Maybe
I would fast forward to that.
Are we in the wrong industry? Is that what you're saying?
We should be making headphones and sunglasses.
With
We're in
pop
an industry that's not flooded. We don't have Modern Warfare 3 pop filters.
We don't have those.
The market cornered.
No, we do. Yeah. Wow. It's creative thinking. I like that.
Outside the box.
Have you played any of it yet?
No, it's still in shrink wrap on my desk. We didn't introduce anyone.
I'm Philip Frandefree.
A.K.A. Joel Heyman.
This is Brandon Farmini.
And this is Gus, like always. Okay, we can continue with our stupid ramblings.
Your name is now Philip Frandefree.
So this is like zero out. Well, I mean, not zero out, but this is like critical mass time for video games.
This is
when it
critical
comes to
mass
the
for
time
video
of the
games. I got a Battlefield, still in shrink wrap, sitting on top my Xbox. Haven't played it at all for 1 second yet because I haven't had time.
A lot of threes. We've got Battlefield 3, which has been out for a couple of weeks. Modern Warfare 3, which came out today. Skyrim, which comes out later this week. And Uncharted 3, which came out last week.
Did you play any of those?
Yes, I played all of them. Well, I mean, I played Battlefield 3 and Uncharted 3. Uncharted 3, you all haven't played it yet, but game of the year so far for me.
I don't... Sony... What?
Uncharted 3 is probably one of the best video games I've ever played.
Really?
Yeah.
It's second on the list. I'm working through Resistance 3 right now, another 3. And it's tough.
How's the Resistance going?
Not enjoying it. But I feel like I gotta finish it. I gotta get it done.
I bought...
I can't just stop
That's
playing.
a problem with a video game. Is like that's the problem. Is like I know once I unwrap the video game and then start the process, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get sucked in, and then
I just feel paranoid. I'm like, what if the ending is awesome? What if the ending like changes my life forever?
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna miss out if I don't finish. And you get so close, I just can't. I can't.
I started playing Orcs Must Die, and now it's like I can't. I'm obsessed about it. I can't start anything until I finish that.
I was intentionally trying to delay. I was trying to limit my amount of Uncharted 3 playtime because I didn't want the game to end. It was like, I only want to play for an hour
that
right
good,
now.
really?
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, I can't wait.
How's it compared to the last one?
It was better than Uncharted 2.
And
then as soon as, I'm not kidding you, as soon as the credits finished rolling, as soon as it was done, I started playing again.
Did the
I
platforming
immediately started playing it.
Did the platforming get repetitive at all?
No, they didn't do it as much, I felt like.
Because jumping from ledge to ledge, or up the ledge or down the ledge, I felt got a little much into.
The part,
Is this like your favorite game you've played all year?
Yeah, easy. I think it's
better than Portal 2?
I like this more, I think.
God damn.
The part that gets repetitive to me is sometimes they have like those run away from falling stuff sequences where you're running at camera, and I get confused as to which direction I'm supposed to be pushing on the analog stick. Like, do I push down to run towards me?
That drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Like when you play, they have that in Assassin's Creed a little bit sometimes. A great game, but like sometimes the rules change based on your environment. And it's like now all of a sudden left is not left, left is forward.
I think Resident Evil 2 is one of the toughest games in that regard. But I really like the fixed camera. Even though going one way on the D-pad puts you in a completely different room in an opposite direction. But I feel like fixed camera like gives you less control over the environment, and you feel like more susceptible to shock and suspense,
because you can't look and see what's in the corner of your eye.
Yeah,
like you have a very fixed perspective.
Yeah, it's like watching a film. Like
it's like
the
your
creator
character has a neck brace.
Yeah, they choose the angle which is most terrifying.
Yeah, I also feel like it's cheating though, because then they don't have to draw the whole environment. They just have to draw the specific. They know exactly what you're going to be looking at.
Sure, but then it allows you to put more attention towards other aspects of the of the production. It's like when animators don't show feet.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think it's very effective when it's used properly, but I feel like it's a shortcut a lot of times, and it's not done properly. But you're right. In Resident Evil 2, it was done well.
Yeah.
See, I haven't played any of those games.
That was an old game though, man. That's like fucking
PlayStation 1. Man.
I never played Resident Evil.
Oh. No, I was big into 1 and 2 when they came out. I guess I played Code Veronica on the Dreamcast. I played 5, but I never played 4. Was there 3? What was 3? Oh, was it the Nemesis? What was Resident Evil 3?
I don't know.
God, this is a fucking video game podcast.
I don't even know. Like, to me, it's like, I knew it was a game, but it was like, it's also a movie now.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know, the movie scarred me. How was England?
England was awful.
You guys seen the Doom movie real quick before we move away from it?
I did see the Doom movie.
I saw the Doom movie.
Why would you see the Doom movie?
I saw it for free.
All right.
It was like I went to
Why? It was fantastic. I got an argument with Brian.
Was the Doom movie fantastic?
I got an argument with Brian about it. He said it was really awful. I was like, look, if you choose to go see a movie about the game Doom that is obviously bad in the trailer, like there's a first-person view, you know what you're going to see. So I went and I saw...
Your argument is because you know it's bad, it's not bad.
Yeah, because you go into it being like, oh, I really want to see like a, campy video game adaptation, not like a legitimate good movie. I want to go see a movie where The Rock is shooting a bunch of shit. It delivered. It's like if you go see Piranhas 3D because you want a really stupid 3D movie with a bunch of people getting killed. Or a slasher horror movie. Like Hellraiser 4, Hellraiser in Space.
No, I couldn't. I don't know.
Was that a real movie?
That's not the title of it, but it is in space.
Probably, yeah.
They're in a space station. It's awesome.
They're wearing Modern Warfare 3 glasses while they're...
The Modern Warfare 3 space station?
It's the Modern Warfare 3 glasses in space. That's a different type of glasses.
You gotta say it in space!
You didn't care for Doom, the movie?
No, I did not care for Doom, the movie.
It's disappointing.
Even though it was free, I felt ripped off. Because, I used to do this thing for a long time. I used to do this every week, but in the local, free paper, the Chronicle, you can flip through it, and they'll tell you, free passes for this movie. Just go to whatever business at Thursday at 2 p.m. and get a free pass. I would do that every week. I'd go and I'd get every free pass to see every advanced screening I could, and I'd watch every movie I could for free.
They still do it. My friends went to see Harold and Kumar in 3D last week.
Mm-hmm. So
which I heard is fantastic.
If you live in Austin, you could do that, looking at the Chronicle. Or I'm sure whatever city, if you live in a big city, I'm sure you can do that just about anywhere.
When I worked at the TV station, we got those from movie promotional companies every week, and hundreds.
The one downside was that they gave away so many because they wanted the theater to be full that you had to show up kind of early. But if you're going to go see a movie at the Alamo and we have to show up early it is,
my time's more valuable. Guess.
Yeah. I don't do that anymore. But I used to do that all the time.
I love the Alamo, but
is
Regal, if you have a student ID, which I still own, I've graduated for 2 or 3 years, it's $6.
Hold on to that student ID for as long as possible. Don't give it up. You can get into everything. Use it for free.
$6, man.
Yeah. But is there any reason we should talk about what's happening with us this week?
Sure, why not? Speaking of theaters, we have a screening for season 9 at the Draft House on Thursday.
On Thursday, yeah.
Sold out.
What time? 7:30?
It's at 8 p.m.
It's at 8 p.m., but the whole cast will be arriving at 7:30 p.m. There'll be a little red carpet.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is it not a blue carpet? This is a joke.
Not a very good one.
No.
What are we going to be showing? Are we just going to be showing season 9? Do you know what we're showing?
We're going to be showing season 9, but the pre-roll, the Alamo always shows a pretty cool pre-roll based on, what kind of movie we're going to watch. And we're doing the pre-roll, and it's going to be pretty good. It's all going to be stuff that we haven't shown before.
It seems like we go through the same exact process with Alamo every single time, where it's just sort of like, hey, yeah, we want to rent a theater. And it's like, then we get the small theater, and then like it sells out immediately, and it's like, okay, I guess we'll get the bigger. We'll bump you up to the bigger.
Yeah,
theater now.
they-
And it's just like we have to go through this process every single time.
Yeah, I do kind of like it though because that way it gives fans multiple chances. You know.
Well, no, I'm not denigrating the fact that we should immediately get bumped to the bigger theater.
Yeah.
And maybe have two. I mean, if it
No,
was
but
like,
what Brandon's saying is it spreads out the ticket purchasing opportunity across multiple time periods.
I see.
So that if
I don't know though. That's like a different philosophy though, because the people who knew about it and were standing in line theoretically online for the tickets, and then they got bumped, and
Yep.
then like they didn't get the ticket, but then later someone else got it. That's gotta be a bad feeling.
Fuck them.
That's like skipping in line.
I've never had a problem going to these.
All right.
I just had a cool idea too, and I'm not going to share it with you guys. But if you are coming to the Alamo, expect something awesome. Expect something that no one's ever done before in a movie theater.
Public nudity?
Public nudity.
I've done that. Never tell you, you ever, it might have been before you moved to Austin, but there used to be this really shitty theater on Riverside, the Presidio. It's where that Chinese buffet is now.
I know the Chinese buffet.
Yeah, that used to be a theater.
Don't ever drive behind the Chinese buffet after midnight.
Well, anyway, one time, that was like the shittiest theater I've ever been to in my life. And I used to live pretty close to there.
They're,
so
they're always called the Presidio. I don't know why.
that's the theater I would go to. And one time I was watching a movie. I think I was watching, I only remember ever watching terrible movies there. And one time I was watching Stigmata. And like in the middle of the movie, the door, like the exit up under the screen opened up, and a Domino's pizza guy walked in.
That's
And
great.
it's like, you got a pizza for Mark? And like Mark's like, hey, we're here. And then the fucking Domino's guy goes up to the dude in the movie theater, delivers his pizza, and walks out.
Oh, there's
awesome.
this. I was watching Tropic Thunder, and there was this asshole behind us who was just talking the whole movie. Then he got on his cell phone. He was just talking loud. Like, he was obviously doing it to be a distraction. And I just got fed up, and I told him to shut the fuck up. And then he, like, reached over and started to, like, tell me how he was going to hurt me, kill me. And I just didn't say anything. I was just like, whatever. He sat there for a while and then left. And then after I was leaving the theater, all these, like overweight dudes came up to me and was like, man, I totally had your back, dude. I was like, bullshit. It was terrifying.
When's the
It's
last?
just annoying, though. It's just like, why? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. That's I can't stand like the people who are like point out the obvious thing. Like we had that story of like Independence Day where like people behind us where the giant spaceship came over the White House and they're like, those are the aliens. It's like, really?
I get
Do you
that.
have to say that out loud? Like,
get
it's like,
that.
are you tipping in the rest of the audience in case they weren't? Make sure everyone's ahead of the curve as to what's going on. And it happens in every fucking movie.
I totally understand that. I'm all for that.
I don't know if I ever told the story in the podcast, but one of the first dates I ever went on with my wife, we went to see, it was a terrible movie, but we went to see the Bewitched remake with Will Ferrell and Nicole Kidman. And I got fucking drunk before we went to the theater. And then, like, I snuck some bottles of Coke with Jack Daniels, some Jack and Cokes into the theater, and I kept drinking. And the movie was so terrible, and people were laughing at it. And I turned to Esther, who I was dating at the time, and I go, why the fuck are these people laughing? This is awful. And apparently I got really belligerent, like making fun of people for laughing at the movie and enjoying it, that she had to drag me out of the theater because everyone wanted to kick my ass.
Was this associated with that surgery story?
No, totally different time.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Did you guys see Aliens in the movie theater?
Aliens. No, I
I
never
did.
did.
I did see aliens in the movie theater.
All right. Did you, like, I there's no way I could have seen that in the theater and not yelled at the screen. When that guy is walking into that giant space with all the pods, and you're just like, no, like, turn around. Why are you getting closer? It's opening.
Yeah.
It's opening.
I remember everyone groaning, which that's an appropriate. Like everyone could groan. That makes sense, you know. But or even at that for that movie, like turn the fuck around, get the
Yes.
fuck out. That makes sense.
That, out of every movie that's ever been released, that has to be the most yelled at moment
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. There was the first one that was pretty bad, where the thing opened or whatever, and that was, well, I'm gonna look inside of it. No, don't look inside of it.
Oh, no, yeah, that's the one I'm talking
Yeah,
about. Sorry,
that's
Alien, not
Alien,
Aliens.
yeah.
My mistake.
Yeah.
That
It was-
giant room
Still,
of
it was.
pods.
They still had that same like exact scene in Aliens, I think, where
Well,
Sigourney Weaver walks in, but then she knows what it is. She walks into the room and like she walks in the
she's
middle
like,
of the room.
she's like, maybe it's different this time.
Maybe
Nope.
oh wait, no, they're starting to open. Well, maybe the opening is different this time. Well, maybe I should get a closer look.
And what does the first guy think he's going to find? Treasure? He's just going to reach in there and grab a bunch of gold and
Maybe.
jewels.
Be like
Or,
the goose that laid the golden. It's like the alien that laid the golden turd.
or maybe a virgin just pops out.
Well, you
That's
gotta
what
go
virgins sound like.
They're very happy.
So
We should talk about.
I was going to say,
we should talk about New Zealand.
you
right?
guys went to Australia and New Zealand.
We went to Melbourne,
Melbourne,
Australia,
New Zealand.
and New Zealand, Auckland, New Zealand, and Brandon
Melbourne, Australia.
and Bernie went to a pony cabin together.
We did go to a pony cabin together.
And Bernie the whole time was
pony
like,
cabin?
Yeah, Bernie was like, "You should come to the pony cabin with us." And it's like it's very romantic. We have a fire. It's like I don't want to go to the pony cabin.
No, it's surprisingly relaxing.
I'm
you go
sure.
to bed at 8 p.m., which is the downside.
You lost me there.
We were in Cambridge.
No, I know, but yeah,
We were in Cambridge, and I was asking like some of
Where?
the ladies there. Cambridge?
That's in New Zealand?
Yeah, is it not called Cambridge?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the name of it.
I-
It's just
I
a
stayed
city
in
really
Auckland.
close to us. And I was asking them, oh, what do you do at night? Like, what's the nightlife? Where do you go? And they're just like, there's a pub right there full of, like, big New Zealand dudes. So, really, 8 p.m. is just, let's just wait for the morning.
It is an incredibly, like, beautiful country. It's an incredibly beautiful country. Like, it smells nice. The air is gorgeous. The country's gorgeous. It was just unbelievable.
Very gorgeous air.
It's like Malibu.
It's
the whole country is Malibu.
It's gorgeous because it's so far away and so difficult to get to. People have not like flocked there and ruined it yet.
Right, exactly. It's funny you say flock because there was like flocks of like parrots and stuff, and just like all the animals there were happy, fluffy animals. There's no snakes.
It's like the polar opposite of Australia.
Yes, like exactly.
Like as far
Which is
as
so
like,
weird, right?
killer animals go.
You definitely see the impact, though, on the community because you ask people from Auckland, oh, how do you like it here? How do you like it here? And, they like it, but a lot of them are just kind of like, it's small. There's not a lot to do. So it's like the consequence of having basically a reserve with the whole country.
Right.
Because they have dogs that don't sniff for cocaine. They sniff for food. Like, literally, a dog jumped on a backpack.
I think all dogs
The
do.
security guys came in there. They're like, ma'am, do you have any food in here? And like all the stand-ups they have are just guys, like security guys, holding apples, being like, "Don't bring any fruit in."
That was I got adjusted to security in New Zealand and Australia very quickly because it was sort of like, come through the metal detector. I have metal. That's okay. Just whatever. They just it was so easy. They just did not care.
One time when I was in Australia, I was flying from Melbourne to Adelaide, and like it's like you said, like I was in there. There was no one really manning the metal detector.
You know-
and I walked through, and then like no one even looked at me. or
I
looked at my
knew
stuff.
I was back in Los Angeles. I knew I was back in America when we landed back in LA in the terminal at LAX. And within 5 minutes of being back on U.S. soil, I got yelled at for standing in a no standing area.
There's a
like,
no standing
Like it's like
area?
you can't stand there. I'm like waiting for Brandon to get through like security. It's like on the other side, security guy's like, you can't stand there. That's not for standing. It's just immediately, oh, I'm back in America. We should give like a shout out to like every fan who came by and saw us, and we should give a shout out to Cool Katie who ran an amazing event in Australia at Melbourne. That was great.
Yeah,
and,
it was
also
at
the guys in New Zealand ran a really good event too. But yeah, definitely the event in Melbourne was great.
Yeah, it was at a bowling alley with a giant liquor bar.
Oh, that was
Multiple-
It was in Crown, right? In
Yeah,
the casino.
yeah.
Yeah, it was in a casino, so that's a big thumbs up there.
Yeah,
also,
I've been there.
if you're gonna plan an RVB event, do it in a casino.
I've been there. That's like they have a bowling alley, a laser tag, a giant arcade, and there's
great.
like bars everywhere, and then you can go upstairs and gamble.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
I was volunteered for laser tag, and I placed second, which I feel is good because it's like you do well, but you're not. No one.
Who finished
No
first?
one.
You're the American. You got to shoot that shit up, dude.
No.
You got to get that shit laser pregnant.
Did you
There's
did you break the course? Did you break the gun? Anything?
there's no honor in
Did you-
finishing first in a laser tag.
Did you
game.
spike the gun at the end and like America? Fuck yeah! Who finished first?
A guy on my team actually, so we couldn't actually like face off against one another.
What was his name?
I don't know. All the characters are assigned. Like all your names are assigned. They're all video game characters.
Oh.
That's another reason why you don't want to finish first. You don't want to be that guy that's king of the laser tag nerds.
What's wrong with you?
I was second though.
What the hell's wrong with you? Being second somehow better? I
Yeah.
don't understand what you're saying. You hung out with people and you're making fun of them for being.
I'm not making
you've
fun
got
of them.
some sort of numbering value
I-
system
I don't-
here that's going
I don't
on. I
understand
don't
this
follow
at
the
all.
rationale whatsoever.
I'm just saying I'm a part of it. I'm obviously part of the video game nerd, but I don't want to be like, I don't want the spotlight on me. I don't want the people to come out,
It's
after
not
the
even-
laser tag match and they're all like cheering and
don't-
throwing
I don't-
roses at the first.
Did everyone come out and cheer for the guy who finished first?
It was close. It was a little. There was mild applause.
So dumb. No, if I'm going to go in, if I'm going to take my time to play laser tag, I'm going to fucking dominate. If I don't come in first, there's no point.
I had a friend bring a fucking prism into a laser tag game one time and ruined everything for everybody.
What does that do?
I think he shot
I know
it
what a
in-
prism does, but
he shot around corners and was just taking people out, and it worked. I mean,
Really?
yeah, I don't know. This was in the '80s, back when like laser technology was at its early stages and could be manipulated by prisms.
and prisms were cool.
And prisms were cool. Everyone carried around with them, in case your
In case your laser tag game breaks out.
That's right.
In truth, I tried to play it cool, but I was really, really trying to win. So it'd be like, yeah, I don't even care. I wasn't even trying. I got first. But
I didn't even know there was laser
I
tag.
was inferior.
I was drunk enough to not know what was going on.
Gus, I learned an invaluable lesson. When you get to an event, immediately tell people that they cannot buy you drinks. Because I kept getting drink after drink after drink, and I didn't want to be rude. And I even got a Jack and Coke, and I hate whiskey.
I wish Brian was here because I had that text message on his phone. He said, Franny got wrecked.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
on
I saw
Friday
that.
night.
They gave me an
text
ABC shot, and the A is absinthe, and I have no idea what the B and C is, but I bailed. I was literally pleading with the bartender, help me.
You had absinthe?
Stop. They're going to kill me.
Well, abscess was in the shot?
Yeah, that was the first shot.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah. But I don't want to be a
It's
jerk.
fine.
Absinthe?
Yeah, it's totally fine.
Isn't that like, it's illegal in the United States,
No,
right?
no,
I feel like it's like watered
hyped
down.
up. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, it's watered down absinthe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you hallucinate, but I mean, it smells like
Well, you
rubbing
weren't trying
alcohol.
hard enough.
I don't like absinthe because it's like, it's got that anise taste. It reminds me of like licorice, and I fucking hate that taste.
Ugh, I couldn't
Really?
taste anything
Yeah.
after that. But she
It's
kept
overpowered.
serving liquor.
There was a research study done saying that women are subconsciously attracted to the smell of black licorice.
Ugh, I fucking.
See, it's the number one on the list.
Well, I'm obviously not a woman then because I fucking hate licorice. I fucking hate black licorice. It's disgusting.
That's why I have some black licorice. I fucked up that joke.
licorice is funny.
Black licorice pubic shampoo.
I felt...
See, that joke would have killed
No.
if I would have nailed it. Gus was waiting to laugh.
I didn't even want to get into the story because I felt bad about Brandon and Bernie
No, fuck it. Do it.
because they were basically flying economy on the way out there, and I basically wasn't flying
Basically.
economy. And
I like how
we
we
were
were
at the
saying
terminal.
you were in business or first to say I wasn't flying economy. Just say it.
And we were basically at the terminal. Like we took the 5-hour flight from whatever Austin to like LA or however long it was.
It's 3 hours.
3 hours, 5 hours, whatever. It didn't matter. We had a 17-hour flight in front of us. Who's counting? We landed at the terminal at LAX, and it was like Ellis Island. It was like we were flying out on that. What was it? The A380.
Oh, you flew with A380?
We threw A380
Wow.
out there, and it was like the terminal. It was like there were more people than there was terminal space. It was people just packed together, just like shoulder to shoulder, screaming kids. It was just like awful.
Are you
It
talking
was
coming into LA?
No, he's
flying out of
flying
LA,
out of LA.
and it was just like utterly packed. And I felt bad for you guys. I really genuinely felt bad for you guys. We were talking. I was like, well, maybe we can flop seats at one point.
Liar. You
Which
never
I
said
said.
that.
No, I did. After
No.
we were at the game. Well, you sent me text messages, so I know I said it to you because you confirmed that back to me. You sent me a text message in Sydney saying, "Well, can we flop out seats?" You remember that?
This never happened.
I have the text message.
trying to save face.
I have the text message. Well, I'm not trying to save face because I was trying to readily admit there was no fucking way I was going to flop seats. I mean, I guess I dropped a Vicodin and then felt bad for you. I dropped a Vicodin and like some stomach medication, which I realized at the time. I also had
It's a
a
bad
beer or
mix,
two,
yeah.
and all of them were like, "Get all water out of Joel." So I literally
Oh, God.
took like 20 bathroom. I had to go to the bathroom like 20 times. But anyways, we're in Ellis Island. We're shoulder to shoulder. We're just utterly crowded. Hey, you come back here.
Matt just looked in and
You come
immediately
back.
left. All right, so you're in Ellis Island.
And so they're like, well, they're boarding business class. You should just go ahead. And I'm like, oh, all right. So I go more business class, and I go through the line. It's like a separate entrance for the plane. They have two entrances, and I go to my own entrance, and I'm the only one there. And I go into this hallway. And it's like a white lit hallway with like panels that are backlit. It's like
It's like, it's like going to heaven.
and no, it's like going to heaven. No one is there. I'm the only one. It's like you go from utter chaos. You walk 5 feet. It's like
Serenity.
It's like serenity. There's no one there. I'm just like walking this long hallway. No one's there. And I'm like, all right. Then there's like this winding staircase that goes up. I follow the winding staircase. It takes me to another hallway. At the end of the hallway, there's 5 dudes. At the entrance of the plane, there's 2 dudes on each side of the plane and a guy standing in the middle. And I'm like, I just walk up to them. I'm like, hi, is this? And they're like, yes, come to me, sir. Follow the light. Follow the light.
This is your serf who's been assigned to you.
Exactly.
You can rest your feet on me all flight, sir.
I couldn't tell you, dude. They bring me to my chair.
It wasn't a chair.
Like it wasn't a chair. It wasn't a chair. It was like it was a pod.
It was the pod that Darth Vader
huge.
Came out of
Like
in the second Star Wars. There's even like hydraulic steam.
They had like I just can't describe to you. Like I had the panel and these buttons. I had a back massager and there was like 20 buttons for like I could like the distance between the front of my chair and the aisle in front of me. I couldn't touch it. It was just like it was the most surreal thing I'd ever seen. And they were like, "Well, sir, would you like to fill out a menu, a pre-menu?" And so I'm filling out these pre-menus and this, that, and the other thing. And it was the greatest thing ever.
Wow.
I mean, I wasn't able to sleep during the flight because I'm insane or whatever. Yeah, and then our plane ran out of gas.
Oh yeah, there was the out of gas incident.
And so we had to land in Sydney, and sure enough, that's when I got the text message from Brandon. He's like, "So, do you want to flop out now?" I was like,
Were you like in a middle seat or something, Brandon, or did you? At
Oh
least have-
yeah, and we they didn't let us leave the plane when we got to Sydney.
no, we were sitting on the tarmac the whole time.
Just
I
stuck there.
genuinely thought for a second, I was like, okay, maybe I should try and go flop out one of those guys, and as good, you know. And I look back, and I'm Vicodined out at this point, and like the whole hallway is moving. And, like, all I see is like the hallway going infinitely back, along with the staircase going down. I guess you were on the first floor, I was on the second floor. I was like, "There's no way. There's no way I would be able to find you. I mean, there's just no way."
We had an
What?
omelet. That was neat.
They probably wouldn't have let you flop out anyway. It'd have been like,
Well,
you're
that's
not
what I
Mr.
thought
Hagen.
too. Yeah, it was. I was scared and pumped full of drugs, and I didn't know what was happening.
No, no,
I
you
thought
did the right thing.
I thought I had died at one point.
You did the right thing, Joel.
I mean, it was great, but it was funny because the whole trip in the back of my mind, I thought, well, no matter what happens to me, I have that trip back, which is going to be awesome. And then we did not get an A380 on the way back. It was not like that at all.
Because of you that Qantas had that labor dispute, and you all were stuck there for a while.
I know. Yeah, we totally got stuck there. And that's the thing. The flight back was totally different, right? It was like we didn't get the plane.
Yeah, Joel was like, "That's not the right plane." Do they
I
not
was
understand
going
that's the wrong
through
plane?
like a thing.
What was it? Was it a 747 on the way back?
It wasn't even that. It was like it was definitely an Airbus of some sort, but it was like I was like, that thing's not going to get across the Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
We were worried that
was a
lockout
2x2.
ended. It's like, do they not have their A team? Do they have like the interns there?
It was
They're
bad.
just like grab a plane.
It was really bad. Yeah, I mean, we already had delayed by a day because of the Qantas lockout. Like we were like, I think we were one of the few people to get affected by that actually. And then we landed in LA. It was horrible. They were shouting at us immediately. And then we had like an 8-hour layover. I was like, no, fuck that. We're not going to do that. Let's go to the airline and get a earlier flight. And they're like, well, we have an earlier flight, but you have to fly to Dallas, and then from Dallas you fly to Austin, and you get there an hour earlier. I was like, well, we should do that. And so I lost my status and whatever. We flew back there, and then we got sat on the tarmac for an hour because the plane was broken. So we wound up missing our connecting flight in Dallas. Like we missed it, but they didn't tell us we missed it. One of the trams was broken in Dallas, so it was, of course, it was on the other side of the terminal. We land in A, it's in C, and it's like we land, run all the way across. And then we get there, and it was like, oh, you missed a flight, but it's like there's another flight at the other gate if you go back. But
Did you go back where you started?
It was a nightmare.
The flight takes off at 9:20. It's 9:15, and she's like, "Well, you should have got here 20 minutes early." And I was like, "I just told you, we just landed." Like,
No,
you're just so rude.
I got into a shouting match once at an airport like that. Like I was running to catch my flight because it was a tight connection, and I could see them closing the gate, from a distance. I was like, don't close it. And I like ran up, and the woman started yelling at me like, why aren't you here earlier? I was like, your flight was fucking delayed. I got here as fast as I could.
You can read it in their eyes. Like the second we walked up, they already had that, yeah, you're fucked look.
Yeah.
They're just staring at you,
They
not
didn't care.
blinking. And they know you're fucked, and there's nothing they can do about it.
The
It's
funny
just
thing,
like-
one of the Qantas guys said when he was rebooking us is he's complaining about people who came up and who were shouting at him, and he's just like, Southwest Airlines trains people people that if they just bitch and moan, they'll get whatever they want. And Southwest doesn't fly internationally, right? It's just a regional airport in the U.S. And for some reason, their rep.
I can tell you already, anyone who's new to travel, I think it's true. I don't think you gain anything by yelling at anybody.
No, you do not.
Ever.
In fact, you lose by yelling.
You lose. They will purposely screw you.
Yeah, being nice goes a long
Yeah,
fucking way. That's
have
what I've learned through extensive travel.
Yeah, there's no question. But sometimes when they screw you, it's just like, well, it's going to feel more good just to scream.
Yeah.
But, you know.
If you know it's a foregone conclusion, sure, that's your thing. But I find that it never works to do that.
Nah.
You and I...
It works with everything else, though.
I wish we'd have just stayed in L.A. Joel got us in some, super secret, high class.
That was the
room.
nicest area of LAX. We just went to some Admirals Club or whatever. It was nice.
Was it in the American Airlines terminal? Terminal 4?
I don't know where it was. Probably was. I don't know where it was.
Okay.
Well, I totally lost my bag during this process to Brandon. So I don't know. It was all very confusing.
There's a bunch of people on their cell phones, acting important, making deals, canceling contracts.
We had like a Bloomberg terminal.
There
which
were
I'd never
stocks
seen
involved.
a Bloomberg terminal before. It was
What?
great. Yeah, like a Bloomberg terminal is like an actual active like computer with a TV and everything was great.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's crazy.
So, and how was England? Did you already talk about England?
I talked about it a bit.
How's Gavino and Ben?
They're great. We didn't get merchandise, which sucked. But I think I already talked about that.
That really sucks, especially if like you were like a fan and you wanted to come out and maybe get. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's easy or hard at this point to get a signed piece of merch.
Well, it's difficult to get merch in the UK anyway because shipping can be expensive, and then like having to pay for VAT as well really increases the cost of stuff. So we thought it'd be a good way to get people stuff, and of course, fucking customs screwed us too.
And then you had to like probably tell the story about
Yeah.
20 times about how we weren't able to get merch.
Yeah, it sucked.
Are you willing to reveal the game you were playing in the booth, or is that still?
No, we were
super
playing a
secret?
game.
All right.
Nothing was going on.
was-
People brought us a lot of liquor. We got a lot of scotch. Somebody brought us little vials of vodka. They look like how when you go to the doctor and they like put the needle into the like that little container for the shot, and they like suck it up and they give you the shot. They brought us that little container, but it was filled with vodka and scorpion.
Oh, no one brought us alcohol.
No.
Really? I got
We
got
were-
like 3 bottles of scotch, a bottle of gin, a bunch of little scorpion vodka things.
I'm wrong. We did one awesome fan brought alcohol in Melbourne, but
What kind of alcohol was it?
it was what was it? It was scotch.
Nice.
Which was great, but we didn't get any in New Zealand. Like even at the panel, we're so spoiled. It's now to the point where at the panel, I just start demanding alcohol from the audience. They're like, "Ha ha ha!" And I'm like, "No, seriously."
Like the panel,
I'm
the
really
panel
sober
doesn't
and-
turn on.
The panel doesn't turn on. It requires liquid.
I talked about this already also, but at New York Comic Con, they sold beer in the convention center. Like you
That's
could
awesome.
leave your booth, you could go to where they sold
awesome.
the food, pick up a beer, and take it back to the booth, and it was fine.
Yeah, they did have a full bar
In,
New
Auckland.
Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, compare that to like Boston, where I almost got fucking arrested for drinking a beer on stage.
They also had
What the? We got to get these liquor rules straight.
Yeah, the United States is fucked up.
They also had a roller coaster in Auckland, a
Brandon would not
inflatable
ride it.
obstacle course that was actually made by the military there as a way to recruit people, like invade any inflatable countries. So it was like this big fair. They had a Burning Man. It was fun. Like it was definitely like a really cool experience, and it was huge. It was really, really huge.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty big, and we got the picture taken with the 501st or whatever, which was
I
that
saw
was
that
cool.
picture. Yeah, we posted that on the front page of the website.
Yeah, I realized looking back at that picture, Brandon was incredibly hungover, and I was a little hungover as well, and I didn't even know what was happening at the time. But
How long did it take y'all to get used to the jet lag? Were y'all fucked up for a long time down there?
I got used to it about the time it was time to leave.
Yeah.
The first day, Joel and I, we really wanted to go to one of the events with barbecue, and I
There was
planned
no- there was
to.
no way.
I put alarms, and then I woke up, and it was 3 a.m.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I mean, at that point, I remember the day before I left, I said, I'm going to stay up the whole day. That way I'll force myself to sleep on the plane. And then I didn't sleep on the plane. So it's like, well, I've been awake for like 48 hours.
Yeah, you're like double
And
fucked.
It's like, yeah, there's no way.
and after the stop in Sydney, it was about 26 hours of travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no way. I mean, that's exactly right. I was going to try. I was like, just text message me. And it's like, I'm just going to lay my head down on the pillow. I'm
Mistake.
just going to close one eye. All right, I'll just close the other eye. That's it. It's
Yeah,
over.
you're dead.
Yeah. So yeah, but that was tough. That was tougher than I thought, or whatever. But you know what? I got to tell you, the casinos over there, there's no craps.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, there was some craps in Melbourne. They threatened to have craps. There were tables. I saw them, but they were never opened. There was definitely no craps in Auckland, and it's all automatic shuffling machines over there.
You hate that,
just,
don't you?
It's terrible. You can't. There's no point. So it's like you're forced to play. What did we play?
Roulette.
We played roulette.
Is it also like one of those giant decks? Like you can't see how many decks they're dealing from. It's just like an endless infinite.
When it's the automatic shuffling machine, you get the giant wheel. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over at that point. You know, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They got to fix that. They get that taken care of. So, but other than that, the countries are wonderful.
Other than their shitty automatic shuffling machine.
I was talking last week how I went up so much over there when I was at the casino, and then I lost it all, and then I got back. I was just kind of like, all right, whatever. It was only like $150, and then I got my cell phone bill, and I'm like, fuck, this could have totally paid for that.
Yeah.
It's like it just feels even worse.
International cell phone usage is the fucking worst.
Welcome to the world of gambling.
It wasn't data that killed me. Data was fine. It was fucking voice.
Oh, yeah. God, I can't believe you were using voice.
No, I got in an argument with my girlfriend, and it was just
that's a costly
this
argument.
is the most
That's the most expensive
expensive fight.
Can we
in
argue
the world?
can we argue over Skype, please?
Yeah. Can we go home and you can just break a bunch of plates? That'll still be cheaper than what we're doing right now.
Just key my car just endlessly. That'd be better.
I
look back at my recent calls on my cell phone, and all it is like these 20 long numerical digit lines. It's
I gotta say, I'm really happy with, I went overseas also. I was expecting to get, really, I was expecting to have to pay a lot on my cell phone bill. But with iMessage now in iOS 5, since I know so many people with other iPhones, you don't pay, it's just data. It just sends it out, so it's just like a couple bytes instead of a text message. It's so much cheaper.
Yeah, it's nice, but Eric, who works at our distributor in Australia, New Zealand, who I can't say enough good things about, his phone didn't do that. We were texting him, and we were late the first day because he just fucking asshole wasn't responding to any of my text messages. Even when I asked, oh, hey, I heard you were going out tonight. Let me know when you're going. Didn't say anything. I was like, fucker doesn't want to hang out with me. But no, he didn't get them. He didn't get the iMessages, even though my phone thought he would. So I had to switch over just to text messages, and that was about $100 worth of
wow,
because I couldn't text everyone else.
When I had something weird happen when we got to London. We got to Heathrow, and the area that the event was in was literally on the other side of London. Heathrow was way on the west side of London, and our event was way on the east side of London. So we get out.
London is expensive.
It's brutal, and it's 8. By the time we get through customs and everything, it's 8 a.m. It's the peak of traffic. We get out, we get into a taxi, and the guy's like, "Where are you going?" I said, Excel Center, Docklands. And the guy stops and looks at me and goes, that's really far away, right? And I go, yeah.
Wow, that was really nice of him. I guess, yeah.
He doesn't want. Yeah, he doesn't. He wants to make sure I have the money to pay him. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know, an hour cab ride. He goes, okay. So we go, and it takes an hour and a half, and it ends up costing £88, which is
$200.
Well, less than I expected, but it's 150, 160. Let's say. Oh, 150 probably. And so I was like, fuck, that was a lot of money. So then, the night before we're gonna leave back to Heathrow, I go to the front desk at the hotel, and I'm like, hey, is it hard to get a cab here? Because I'm going to need a cab in the morning to go to the airport. They're like, oh, go talk to the transportation desk. So okay. So I turn around and I go, and there's this desk, and it's the transportation desk. And I tell the lady, I'm like, I need to get a taxi to the airport in the morning. She's like, okay, what time? It's 8:30. She's like, okay, just come down, and we'll have a car ready for you. It's like, okay. So the next morning, at 8:15, the phone in the hotel room rings, and the car's here whenever you're ready. I was like, okay. I was like, that's nice of them. I get downstairs, and they had rented a Mercedes E-Class, and they had gotten a driver to drive me to the airport. And I was like, what the fuck? And I get in the back seat, and the driver's dressed in a suit, and I'm all ratty. The driver's in a suit, and he's like, there's bottles of water in the doors if you want some. He's like, would you like me to put the financial news on the radio? And I was like, no, it's okay. And I was
that moment of this is going to be.
And I was like, oh fuck, what did I get into? What am I paying for here? So we're driving through traffic the whole time. I'm hungover as fuck, and I feel I feel terrible. I'm in the back of this cab. We're in traffic, and we finally get to Heathrow, and I'm like, God, how much is it going to cost me? And the guy's like, all right, that's £70. I'm like,
are you serious?
What? And I was like, okay. And I'm like, how the fuck is this £20 cheaper than taking the taxi? I'm an idiot. I should have called this guy.
Yeah. I mean, that happens occasionally where I've noticed, I'll get higher cars and it's a better deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
the guy, the taxi driver, nothing against him. The taxi driver I took from the airport would not shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
He was talking nonstop, and it was awful. And this other guy was just quiet, put the radio on whatever I wanted. and just told me where the water was.
I mean, it might be because cabs are designed for short distances, so their rates are based on what's profitable in order to drive people those short distances. So when you're actually driving far, it's astronomically expensive.
That's a good
point.
point.
If they were meant to drive that far, it would probably be cheaper. And so you were calling somebody, that was their purpose. It's, realistically priced.
That's an excellent point. I didn't think about it that way. Fucking dropping knowledge over there.
Yeah.
So that's my word of advice to you guys. If you ever go to England, take the guy in the Mercedes. He's cheaper.
I'm going to do that. This is totally going to work out.
Yeah.
Do you have his card?
No, I do not have his card. He's not a drug dealer, so I didn't get it. But I guess at the airport they have that too. Like I saw the sign when we landed. It was like, cars for hire over here or taxis over there. I was going to the taxi line.
I'm always torn because, like in Vegas, you land at the Vegas airport and it's like, all right, you're going to have to make a decision here because if you take the cab, you have to walk to one side of the airport, or if you're going to take something that's a little higher than a cab, you have to walk to the other side of the airport. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I don't mind. I'll take a cab. But the problem is when you're in Vegas, that effing line at the Vegas airport for a cab, that thing is a monstrous line. And it's just like you wind up sitting there forever.
When we went to New York, I did something kind of bad. We landed in New York, and we had to take a taxi from JFK out to Manhattan to get to where our hotel was and the event was.
I'm so bummed I had to miss that event. I really wanted to go to that.
And we landed at JFK. We go outside, and it's like you said, the line for the taxi is fucking long. There's probably 300 people in the line.
Yeah.
And there's like 4 taxis.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, we're going to be here forever. So I played dumb. And I went in the wrong side of the line by accident. And I walked up to the front, and I was like, where's the line? And I just got in the taxi.
I am known for your country.
I just jumped in, and everyone started yelling at me. I was like, go, go, go.
See, Gus, that's what I don't understand. You can go on a tirade against people on a plane who don't follow the cell phone rules, which don't affect you. They really don't. But you screwed over 40 or 50 people.
That was definitely out of character for me, but it was definitely
No. Like, I agree. I support that decision. It's the whole plane thing.
That decision. That's terrible.
My wife was she's like, did we just cut the line? I was like, no. And she's like, we did, didn't we?
Did you open the window and just like get outside of it and just be like,
I speak no English. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's terrible.
I ran into a problem. The reason I sent Bernie those text messages because I was like really messed up and I was worried about getting home is I got out of the casino and there's just not cabs right there. There's cabs across the street at the hotel, but there's a line.
Brandon is young, and so he doesn't realize, like on a lot of these trips, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, we're going here, we're doing that, we're meeting fans, blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't realize, man, the cold, hard fucking truth of some of these trips is like, oh, wait, it's 3 a.m, I have no money, I don't know where I am. I need heat and water. I'm dying. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been in a foreign country on a fucking red versus blue trip. No idea where I am. No money. Everything's totally fucked. It happened to me the first time in fucking London, dude. I was fucking so pissed about that.
Don't be so angry, man. You're so angry. You sound so ungrateful. Like,
I was so fucking in journal. Bernie made a fucking journal post where it's like, Joel wants to know where all the tour destinations. No, I don't want to know what a tour destination is. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. It's like, hey, come. It's always the same thing. Someone sends you an email where it's like, hey, come to this country, do this. It's like, oh, okay. And then it's just like, then you get left out in the wind.
So when I was leaving this hotel, tons of drinks, that absinthe shot, it's horrible. And I was like, I gotta get home. And you understand what your rate of decay is, basically. You know how far you're gonna drop in 5 minutes. And you're like, I need to be home in 9 minutes or it's just not happening. I'm gonna wind up in a jail or on the street. So I was like trying to find a cab. And I couldn't. The only way I could get one is if I went in line across the hotel. So I go in line and I'm waiting there. And that's when I'm like frantically texting Bernie because I was just like, I'm gonna fall over in this line. I'm gonna be completely passed out. And I get to the hotel, or I get to the cab finally. I tell him where I'm going, and he's taking me there, and my head's on the window, and I was just like, are we there? Are we close? And he knows what's up. So he's just like speeding there, and I just throw money at him. And it was even less than he needed, but he just told me to leave because he didn't want me to throw up in his cab. Open the door, immediately found a trash can, and just vomit.
If you've ever been like sick in America where you're drunk out of your mind in a cab and you're trying to vomit, imagine like, well, now you're on the other side of the road. Don't know where you are, don't know what the money value is, and you're drunk out of your mind. It's terrible.
Like the compounding factors, like this compounding complexity.
Well, no, that's the thing. It's like, what little tiny thing that I am not aware of that's totally going to fuck me? I mean, what is that one little thing? But you don't know what it is. It's a different country. There's going to be one little thing you're not aware of, whatever. It's totally going to fuck. You know, I shouldn't say anything because I totally did what you did in Australia on the trip where there was a bunch of lined up people to go to the bathroom. And I was super drunk and I was like, well, I'm not going to wait through this. And then I did exactly what you did, except for I went into the women's bathroom. I just went in there.
Oh, my God.
I went to that bar that's in New Zealand that has in Melbourne that has the Red versus Blue shots. That they have a shot that's named after. I was super drunk, so I just drank the blue part of the shot, and I just slammed the rest of it on the ground. I said, "I'm not drinking the rest of this." No one got the joke. Apparently,
I still don't get it.
Well, I'm a blue guy, so
It's on the internet.
We have a show.
It's so funny.
They probably wouldn't understand it because internet's like a rare commodity over there.
God, in the hotel, in the hotel rooms over there,
yeah,
it's
we spent a lot of money on internet.
A page pops up and it's like, "Hey, would you like to use the internet?" And it's like, "Okay, I guess so." It's like, "Okay, cool. Why don't you just give me $50 and I'll give you the internet?" It's like, "Okay, here's $50." And then like an hour later, it's like, "Hey, yeah, so you're using the internet.
The internet's
do you
good,
want to
right?
do you want to keep using the internet?" It's like, "What?" It's
We'll
like,
let you-
why don't you give me more money?
It's like you're getting shaken down by your browser.
Yeah, and and then it's just like, oh no, you only paid for this much, or no, we didn't realize you were going to use that much. On the last day, I got a page popped up on me that said, yeah, you've both violated the amount of data and how fast you can use it, and now you owe us at least this much for breaking this rule, and you owe us at least this much for breaking this rule. It's like, what? And then it cut the internet off. I wasn't allowed to use any more internet.
Yeah, and they
What
tried,
the fuck were you doing?
Nothing. I was doing nothing.
How much porn do you have to stream before they cut you off in Australia?
I was like listening to like financial podcasts and stuff. Instead of doing anything.
That's what they call it now.
I mean, I told people in New Zealand, it's like, God, your internet to us is like what it was in like 1995.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's just
saying.
like, you can't use anything.
they trying to save face by saying we won't charge you for more internet, but we're gonna throttle it down.
God, I
just
should've-
like we're gonna make this like it's a 28 modem.
it's a
I
dial-up.
should have
Yeah.
taken a screen cap of that page because it was utterly ridiculous. It was like I was waiting for like the police to bust down my door and drag me off to jail or whatever. And apparently, I guess New Zealand is apparently they've got one cable that runs down the bottom of the ocean that connects them to Australia for their internet. I mean, it's like that's awful.
Yeah.
But
maybe,
I mean-
maybe that's a deal breaker.
I mean,
All the-
your entire country has a bottleneck.
All the fan stuff was amazing. I don't think I've seen those nice and dedicated fans at any of the other cons I've gone to. Like
were great. They were
almost every
great.
fan we saw in the con that waited in line, some of which that waited for an hour and a half, was
Yeah.
at some of the fan events.
I felt really bad about that.
Well, it's good that you went to the fan events, and hopefully they went there too, and they were able to talk to you a little more. So I know
Yeah.
when the line gets long, I mean, God, I feel like such a jerk, like I'm stroking my own ego here for saying this. But it's like when the line gets super long, you try to work through it a little faster to try to to reduce the line, and then
that's
you
my
feel
thought.
bad.
Is
Like
that I'm thinking about the guy at the end of the line.
the individual experience becomes watered down because you're so concerned about the length of the line. It's really a tough
Well, but
balancing
there
act.
was one point where I got really flustered because on Saturday we had the con organizer standing across the table from us, and he's like, "Well, you guys have got to hurry because the con closes in an hour," and the line was. There was no way we were getting through
Right.
everybody. It was like we got to move. You know, it's like
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. God, that's so tough.
There were some people that moved from the line to buy stuff into, get stuff signed, and I felt like a dick just saying, oh, hey, you have to go wait in that long line. Like, we're not going to sign it for you, but, it's just tough. You're trying to treat everybody as good as you can, but it's hard not to feel bad sometimes.
But overall, I think it went. I think
It was
went well.
it was
I think went
astronomically awesome. I mean, especially in Melbourne, we had so many long lines. All like about 2 or 3 days we were there.
It was fun when we landed in New Zealand too, because that was the day after they had won the Rugby World Cup.
Yeah.
It was just like all I had to. This is why I got to float through security without doing a single thing. Is all I had to do was go, it was great. I enjoyed watching the World Cup, and I'm glad that they won. But I was like, "Hey, congratulations on winning the World Cup!" They're like, "Yes, thank you," and they just let me through.
Yeah, come on.
Everyone was so happy. Like the
cool.
entire country was so happy. I remember
awesome.
seeing French guys at the airport when we landed, and they were like walking through the airport, and they were all dejected. You could tell like they had like the face paint makeup that they had wiped off, but hadn't wiped it all the way off.
yeah.
It was like behind their ears still. Just walking through the airport. It was so
The only thing you're missing was a tear.
it's
The best part. It's my favorite part of sports is like the close up on the fans of the opposing team
Dejected
that are
fan.
losing.
Like they had that.
That's
I-
funny.
I-
My wife said the exact same
Yeah.
thing the other night.
And
Remember
like,
they had that close up of that kid, like that 8-year-old at OU who was
Yeah.
crying in the crowd. It like became like a T-shirt.
So when you're directing live events, you have the director there who basically chooses which camera to take. He'll say take 2, take 8, take 9. So you're going to have someone making a decision of what's the saddest thing.
Yeah.
Like it
I always
feels so
think about,
mean.
like,
Just be like, oh,
like
little
this
girl
kid-
crying. That's money.
That's it. Like
That's the golden
camera
shot.
operator is like searching the crowd, like what emotion, what emoticon, like communicates.
Find the orphans.
Yeah. God, that crying kid was so funny.
Oh, it's so great, man. It's just, I love it.
I don't. Other than that, I don't think I can talk anything more about fucking Texas OU this year.
Yeah.
That was brutal. That was brutal.
Sports.
You
It's-
missed the entire World Series. You're like such a huge Rangers fan.
Dude, that was also brutal. That was also brutal. We somehow found like little corners to find the game over there. And,
And it would probably come on like at 4 a.m. or something for you.
yeah, well, it's funny. It definitely came. It came in on like 9 a.m. when I was in Melbourne, and I was able to like catch some of it or whatever. In hindsight, I'm kind of glad I got away from it because I don't think I knew at Game 6 that was it, dude. One pitch away from winning it. And it's like when they didn't make it. Well, this is over. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, I'm sad now.
It was rough. We didn't really know how to handle Joel. It's just like,
It was like, well, I'm just gonna start drinking now.
At 9 a.m.
I was like, I'm now a rugby fan.
tell you something about technology though, and how certain organizations are really embrace it. Our distributor Eric, again, awesome, had the game on his iPhone, and he had it at the
Oh,
booth,
yeah.
and we're just watching this game
I was-
across the world
I was-
on a magical little.
Well, I was in shock because it was like, again, I was back at my hotel room getting splash screens where it's like, hey, do you want to live this page? It'll only cost you $10. It's like, and then it's like I go back here and he's like streaming the ball game
Yeah.
on his iPhone, and it's like, well, that's going to be $1 million.
Well, it's just cool to see like certain organizations embrace technology and try to be at the forefront instead of just like.
Man, I wish I could. I am not a fan of, was it MLB TV or whatever in that
Yeah.
iPhone?
Really?
Yeah.
I am that. I mean, it's
Well,
been like
it's-
4 or 5 years in a row now that they've. I feel like they've screwed
Well,
me.
they do fucked up things. Like they're still subject, even though you pay for it, you're still subject to blackouts.
If it's local, yeah.
I'm in Austin, Texas.
But yeah.
I get every Texas Ranger game blacked out in Austin, Texas. The Rangers play in Dallas, which is 3 hours north of Austin, Texas. It doesn't matter. I can't.
I
get
mean, you
any
can't
Ranger-
get out of the-
I got the World Series games blacked out. I mean, last year, the year before that, at least it's like the World Series games weren't blacked out.
Yeah,
It's
that's,
like,
Granted-
that's shitty.
MLB signs those contracts, but you can't get away with not doing that in local markets.
Yeah, but
I mean, you
Austin should
can't.
not be considered a local market for.
I mean,
for that.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to hash out their whole way of doing things. Just to me, it's just like, just get it done. Just get
Yeah,
it done.
plus if you pay the premium for the
Yeah.
MLB service, you should be exempt from those blackouts because you're paying the money that they theoretically claim they would have
I
lost.
paid for it, and it didn't work. And then I had to go through the laborious process of canceling it, which is a pain in the ass process. I mean, it's just like, God, and this is like the 4th or 5th year in a row that I've fallen for it. And every year something comes up where it doesn't work.
I mean, if I'm an Austin TV station, I get it. You know, if I can get that in the contract that people can't view it and they have to watch my station, I do it.
I mean, but the
just-
Rangers don't even air on TV down here. It's like they air on the weekends sometimes. Otherwise,
really?
it's, yeah, we
Yeah.
get Houston Astros.
You
Yeah,
can't
it-
watch extra game.
No, it's a
I'm
super
not-
fuck situation.
No, it's like I had
No,
to
yeah,
watch,
that makes sense. I thought Austin was
had
an
to watch-
Astros territory.
I had to watch like the Spanish only station at one point to get the Ranger game. I was like, oh my god, it's on the Spanish only station. I'm only watching this. I was lucky to get that.
all the announcers are hot women with huge tits.
It was better actually. I appreciate it. It was better. They had a good take on that sport. Yeah. I don't know. I'm bitter.
Yeah, all right.
There's always, I don't know, next year?
Didn't they almost go to the World Series like 2 years ago or something? They were really close.
They went last year.
Was it last year?
Went to the World Series last year. Lost in the World Series. Remember before I said they're going to the World Series.
Oh, that's
I never
right.
said they're going to win the World Series. I was very careful about my articulation there. I don't know now. I don't know.
Decades of Rangers expectations have set your sights low.
Every Ranger fan, we're all on the same page. It's just like every second, it's just like we're all, as soon as we're down or whatever, we're the quietest crowd in baseball because, oh, that's it. We knew it. We knew it. We're no good. We knew it. It's just like,
We suck.
We suck. It's just like, I don't know.
The other team figured it out.
We figured out we're hollow. We're the paper tiger.
For Tiger. All right, well, let's wrap this shit up because we actually have a super busy day.
I just want you guys to know that the talk we just had about sports is how much I've been able to talk about sports in the bullpen in the last month.
I mean,
Every time I
if
mention-
I get on the podcast, I want to talk. I want to talk sports. I want to talk the 10-year Italian bond.
Are the guys upstairs not sports fans?
No, every time I bring something up, someone always makes the joke, I think they should score a touchdown like in baseball. Like, you know that joke.
You're right,
It's like,
yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
Those guys are assholes that you work with up there. I'm sorry to tell you.
it's okay. That's how you get stuff done
Sometimes.
sometimes. Otherwise, it's just being an asshole.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap this shit up because I know everyone's super busy. We got a screening this weekend. I feel like I'm forgetting to mention. Oh, Halo Anniversary Edition comes out next week. And
That's gonna be awesome.
Bernie and I will be at the Microsoft store at the Gallery in Houston Monday night for the midnight launch of Halo Anniversary Edition. I believe that event's like 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. I could be wrong. But so if you live in Houston, you should come out, say hi. We'll be there.
I got to play it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game. Should be a lot of fun. And I think that's the only thing we have coming up.
We had some stuff in the store go on pre-sale.
Oh, when does our
Calendar went on sale. I mean, everybody wants calendars.
Our DVD is available for pre-sale, and it ships next week, right?
Yeah, I think on the 14th.
From what I
day is it right
understand,
now?
that DVD is pretty good.
Yes.
It's all right.
That's what I hear.
There's also a Churchism poster. People like the quote posters, man, at cons.
Yeah, people have been demanding the Simmonsism poster.
You know what's embarrassing is someone
have
will
it.
walk up to the table.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't out yet.
It's not out yet, but we have the design.
Yeah.
We just have to get it
We have it.
approved.
We don't have it, but we have it.
A form of it exists.
I was drunk at the table, and a fan will walk up and go, "Hey, can you do a Caboose thing?" It's like, well, I can, but I can't. As I'm holding the poster that has all the
Yeah.
Caboose quotes, like I can't quite remember any. Oh,
Do you have a reflex caboose line that you go for whenever people ask for a
Yeah, he
caboose?
does.
I do.
What
It's
is
the
it?
reflex. It's the Sheila.
Uh,
Come back to me.
you know what mine is?
What's yours?
That's an excellent idea, sir. 'Cause I'm sure Simmons has said it a million
You
times.
sound just like Simmons.
That or yes, sir.
That's a good one.
So they're like, oh yeah, just because I can never think of other Simmons lines. You say it when I put on the spot, I'm like, I always say, what's your favorite line? That's what I always ask them. And I'll say whatever.
In one of the featurettes, we actually asked the whole cast what their startup line is when they're in the booth. And that was Gus's line. That's how he gets in character.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Brandon, what's your character's line?
I don't know. I shouldn't talk about it. Bernie hates my character.
I'm dead.
No, I never die. I never die.
You think I'm dead, but I'm not. I'm alive.
Hopefully I didn't die between seasons.
Okay, well that's it. Let's wrap this shit up. Thank you for listening.